So let's continue with our lesson, and let's go and try to do some refactoring of our code in the view model for edit tags. So what we will do is, over here we have an edit tags that is returning a live data. So instead of returning a live data, what we will do is I will just create a normal function over here, and what we will do now is what I will do is over here I'll create a coroutine scope of a Kotlin. So COROUTIN coroutine scope, and in this I will create a let's say a dispatcher.io and dot launch. So we have created a coroutine scope over here, which is running on a IO thread, which is in a background thread, and we are launching a new thread in a background. And what I will do is I will just copy all of this inside this coroutine scope, and this too I will copy or cut inside and paste inside over here. And for now we don't need this image. One, because we are not using anymore the live data, coroutine scope of live data. We are using a Kotlin coroutine scope to launch a new thread. And what we will do now is, since we have this function and in the edit text we are actually observing, so that will give us an error for us. We need to fix that one. And let's come back to the model, and I will create a new variable over here. Val, I will say is SUCCE is success of this is a mutable live data of a boolean. So let's create a boolean, and it's equals to a mutable live data. So we have a new variable which is of its success. And what we will do now is I will go down over here and I will check that if the data dot code, right, if the data dot code is equal to 201, which means it was created, and then I will say that its success dot post value is equals to true, right? So which means that it was success. Otherwise, else what I can say is that its success dot post value we will say as a false. And yeah, that should be okay. So we have over here what we are actually creating. We are creating a Kotlin coroutine scope on a background thread which is running dispatcher.io, and inside this we are going to perform we are sending a request to the server, and we are checking that if the response that we are getting is 201, which means it was successfully created, and we say that its success, we update the value of its success to the true, so which means that it is successful, or else it is false. So what we will do is, now we'll go over here, and we don't need this one. For what we will do now is I'll go over here and create an observer. So ViewModel dot observe is success dot observe, and owner is view lifecycle owner, and let's create a observer. So when we have an observer, what I can check is over here, if it's successful, then I will just go and show this one, right? So I will show the success dialog, and if the else part, else part, then I will just go the error dialog. And that should be the thing that we are trying to do over here, and we don't need to observe this. This is not a live data anymore, so we cannot observe it. So we just have to call the ViewModel dot edit tags. We just call a normal function from here, and I think that should be the thing that we are going to do over here. We just remove the live data, and we have just make use of this one live data which is successful. So that has reduced some of the code over here, because we don't have to observe that the function and return that. So we are just checking for this one because we are not worried about the data for now. Otherwise we can just go and set the data back to the server, or send it back data to the server, or save it to our local storage. So this is actually a good way of, actually not a good way, but actually a recommended way in a MVVM architecture. Everything that related to the data should be handled in a view model, and the fragment should not be worried about the data. It's only worried about the views. So the how to get the update the view is depending on the data that we have available in view model. If the view model data get updated, then reflecting that data we can changes our view. So view is separated from the view model, so it doesn't, the view doesn't have to depend on the data that is trying to get or set. So view model is responsible to get and set data from the repository. So this is a good example that you have learned over here. So actually we should follow this procedure, and in the coming lecture when we actually go and refactor all of our code, we will be replacing all of our code using this concept. So I hope you guys are clear, because I'm doing it right now, because from the previous lecture we haven't used all of this, and I just want you guys to follow it along, and I just want you to guys to have a good understanding. And now since you have understanding that how the live data and other things are working, and now we can switch back, or we can be performing some of the refactoring our code, so that you can understand, if you can understand it better, that how we can deal with the view model. So I hope you guys got it, and let's run the application for now, and let's wait for the Gradle build to complete. Okay, so the application is started, and let's try to test it out, and let us edit, and I will say pending to completed, and just send it. Okay, so we have got the same result, and we have successfully got it, and let's click on OK. Okay, so that the function that we have created, this function is working as expected, and also our view model that we observe we are creating is working as expected. So that's all for this lesson, and we will go and fix our edit issue, that whenever we are editing our message that is not getting updated, we will fix in our coming lesson. So let's meet up in the next lecture. Till then, have a great day.